Hello and welcome. You've landed here because you're searching for answers. Maybe you're here because you want to get your sales numbers up, and maybe you're here because you want your salespeople to reach their sales numbers consistently, month in and month out, without all the excuses and the justifications. And maybe you're here because you're tired of constantly being beat up on price. Perhaps you're seeking ways to get your sales team to become self-motivated and self-directed, and possibly you just want to be free from all the stress that comes from running onto the field with an underperforming sales team. Hi, my name is Ian Seagull, and I want to thank you for stopping by, because in the next 5 minutes I'm going to explain to you why improving selling skills is actually the hardest place to begin your sales improvement effort, and what the easiest sales improvement factors are, and that you can influence before you tackle skill improvement. And finally, if you like what you've seen and what you've heard here today, and if it makes sense to you, then we'll look at the 3 steps you can take to move your sales improvement effort forward from here. So how do you know that it's selling skills improvement that you're after? What are the signals that suggest to you that you've got a capability issue? How do you know that it's poor selling skills that is the cause of your salespeople leaving sales lying on the table? And how do you know it's not a sales process issue? How do you know it's not a sales strategy issue? Etc., etc. You see, here's what we know. Here's what the research tells us. It tells us that 69% of sales teams never hit budget. It also tells us that 42.2% of sales reps will fail to meet their sales numbers this financial year. The research also points out that 77.7% of salespeople don't have the ability to sell value and avoid having to discount, and 80% of sales opportunities are lost due to an inability of the salesperson to justify the value of their solution within a prospect industry. We also know that effective selling is a whole lot more than simply skills. So, just for a moment, come into my common sense corner. If I was to ask you what you believe the core half a dozen abilities of effective salespeople were, you might give me answers such as they're smart, they use their common sense, they're self-starters, they've got a great attitude. You might also suggest that they have excellent communication skills, they're energetic, they take initiative, they're competitive, they're self-reliant, maybe they're persistent. You might suggest that they are focused and goal-driven and dedicated to succeeding. You might suggest that they're willing to learn and to adapt, that they're a team player, that they work hard on building and maintaining relationships. Some of you may even suggest that they enjoy serving others, or other similar attributes to that effect. Now, did you note that none of these were actually skills? Rather, they were attributes or behaviors. Selling skills themselves are tough to grasp and implement, because we're asking people to actually change their behavior. I mean, think about it this way. Pretty much every sales course that's been taught since the early 70s has taught that we need to invest time up front and ask effective questions to uncover needs and pain points, right? Yet how hard is it to get our salespeople to shut up and ask rather than to tell? Why is it so hard? Well, this is because most sales training programs only focus on the first phase of skill mastery, theoretical understanding. And because of this, sales students never graduate to mastery, because after the training, they've never moved out of the awkwardness phase of conscious incompetence through to the stage of conscious competence, where there is at least a degree of familiarity with the new skill. In other words, the new behavior is easier, but it's still not automatic. It's very rare that salespeople progress all the way through all of the levels of learning to an unconscious competence level where they achieve skill mastery. In other words, where they no longer have to think about the behavior, they simply just do it. You see, to go from sales training in the classroom to sales mastery in the boardroom takes a much bigger investment in time and money that typically we in sales organizations are willing to invest in an individual sales rep. It takes follow-up training sessions, which means more time out of the field and even more money invested in the training. And it takes regular follow-up and coaching in the field, demanding time of us as sales managers that we just don't have. So as you can see, this is why most sales training doesn't work. Selling skills development will use up a large degree of your resources and your time before you can begin to reap the rewards. The great news is, however, that there are other proven methods of increasing sales that actually get traction a whole lot quicker and with a whole lot more consistency than rep capability development. So what is the answer? Well, when it comes to selling, when quotas get missed, when sales opportunities are lost, when salespeople miss their sales targets, and when sales careers go sour, most of the time it's because the 5 principal management strategies for driving consistent sales through a team of salespeople are missing. You see, here's what else we know. We also know that 89% of all sales managers out there have never been properly trained on how to manage a sales team to deliver their numbers, which is why we at Mackenzie Sales Tutor work at a sales leadership level to drive sustainable sales results. So it turns out that as long as you have the right people on the bus, then what's missing is either one or more or a combination of the following 5 sales management strategies. Either it's sales performance coaching, which is when you sit down one-on-one with your salespeople on a regular basis, coaching them on the tactics and strategies needed to drive sales, or it's sales planning, which is converting your sales number into executable 90-day sales plans, or it's sales process. We know it's been proven that sales organizations that have an effective sales process that is being used consistently by their salespeople consistently turn in their budgeted sales numbers month after month after month. And then there are the sales skills, the capabilities, the 5 core capabilities that every salesperson must have if they're going to be successful selling in today's economy. And finally, there's the way that you as a manager drive individual performance. Everyone is different and everyone needs to be motivated differently. Each one of these 5 principal sales management strategies has detailed and proven processes, tools, and systems that the Mackenzie Sales Tutor will help customize to easily integrate with your organization. So our approach is to support the sales leadership to drive whichever of the 5 principal strategies will provide you with the quickest results and sustainable returns. In other words, what's going to get you sales the quickest? We work mainly one-on-one with sales leaders and with groups as and only where appropriate. And because we know that 80% of all learning happens on the job, which is why we work with you on your stuff on your job. We not only provide you with proven and practical sales solutions, we also help you to implement and to integrate the systems and the practices into your sales efforts. That way you get all 3. You get the proven systems, you get the sales traction, and you get the skills transfer. We at Mackenzie Sales Tutor provide answers that convert to sales. We're not a sales training company and we're not a sales motivation company. We don't provide off-the-shelf training solutions and we don't have any silver bullet answers either. And therefore, we're not a good fit for everyone. But if what you've heard here makes sense to you and you want to know more, well, you've got 3 options you can choose from. Firstly, you can call our office here in Sydney, Australia at area code 02-9460-7022 and we'll have one of our sales tutors call you to further discuss your individual needs and requirements, and there's absolutely no sales pressure or obligation. Secondly, if you want to find out more about the Mackenzie Sales Tutor program, you can either review the content on this website or you can go across to salestutor.com.au. And finally, if you'd like to find out if your salespeople actually have the skills to sell in today's challenging economy before you decide on what training program you want to put them through, you can access the free Are Your Salespeople Up for the Challenge testing tool by clicking the link below this video. So we hope you'll contact us if you think there may be a possible fit, or alternatively, if not, good luck with your ongoing research and thank you for your time and attention.